Our James Rosen spoke to the Prime Minister of Ukraine, the #2 in that country. He has that report for us right now.
What will come of Friday's meeting?
Let's be honest. So I'm here with a preparational visit. Of course, I have my own objective for this visit. First of all, we need to find a solution how to finance the next year. We need to find a solution how to get additional gas to our storages to go through the winter period, through the heating season, and of course to prepare the visit of our president. Probably our president will discuss the long-range missiles that can be delivered to Ukraine, but we'll see what will happen on Friday.
What do you understand to be the state of play right now in terms of the American side's views on providing you Tomahawk missiles?
Well, for me, it's very hard to discuss on Tomahawk or other long-range missiles. I think it's something what President and Minister of Defense should discuss separately with President Trump.
Over, let's say, the last 4 weeks, do you discern any difference in President Trump's approach to this conflict?
I think that the United States actually are very supportive to Ukraine. I witnessed it during all our meetings here in Washington. So I will be very honest with you. So we discussed on my side reparation loan that now is being structured by EU, and the idea that G7 country, including the United States, will support this initiative. We discussed with Secretary Bessent strengthening of sanction policy, and he is very supportive. Also, we met with Energy Department, and we discussed the problems that we're facing because of the strikes on energy grids. And actually, United States and U.S. companies and U.S. government are very supportive, and they stand with Ukraine, and they understand that all these strikes on energy grids, for example, has nothing linked to the front line. It's just about demoralizing of Ukrainian people. And I think that it's obvious for them that Russia does not want any negotiations.
What promises did you receive from the United States in terms of helping reconstitute the energy installations that Russia hit?
So we discussed several issues, the short-term needs where we need to replace the damaged equipment, and of course we discussed the possibility to get LNG gas to Ukrainian storages, and we discussed the possibility to implement different projects in energy sectors, and I think that the United States, as I said, very supportive in these ideas to help us implement energy projects as it seems for them that defense sector and energy sector are the most promising in terms of their investment.
What did you make of it when President Trump said recently in front of reporters that he thinks that Ukraine can reclaim the territory it has lost, even going back to 2014?
I think that fact that we have already ruined the plan of Russia's soldiers that plan to Kyiv in 3 days mean that, of course, if it would be rearmed in a proper way, so we'd be ready to keep fighting and to keep our territorial integrity.
President Trump, on the eve of the summit in Alaska with President Putin, told my Newsmax colleague, Mike Carter, in a question and answer session in the Oval Office, that if President Putin did not use that opportunity of that summit to reach a deal to end this conflict, there would be, as President Trump put it, very severe consequences. The summit came and went. We have seen no very severe consequences placed on the Kremlin by the United States since. What does that tell you?
You should definitely ask this to President Trump, but I think that everybody understands that Russia does not want to have any negotiations, and that fact that they strike the energy grids and they strike the social infrastructure means that they want to keep fighting, and I think they want to take this time and try to weaken Ukrainian economy, because they start also attack not only the social infrastructure but also objects that has impact on our economy. I mean, agricultural companies, manufacturing companies. So it means that they want to make us weaker. So our task is to be able to repair very fast and to be able to go through this heating season, to be able to rearm ourselves and our army, and to keep fighting until we get the peace.
And in Ukraine's ability to meet those objectives, how important a figure is President Trump?
I think that that fact that he stands with Ukraine, or he will stand with Ukraine and will be able to provide us with a long-range weapon. I think it's extremely important, not only for our partners, but for all Ukrainians.
Do you get the sense that this administration wants to see a Ukrainian victory?
I think, yes. I think that this administration wants to see Ukrainian victory. And rhetorics during our meetings said that they want to support Ukraine, they want to rearm Ukraine, they want to make us more stronger, and they want to weaken Russia with different measures, and they're ready to impose additional sanctions. And I think it's a good news for you, all Ukrainians.
The extraordinary scene that we saw in February, obviously the two leaders have gathered a few times since then. Is it safe to say that all the unpleasantness of February 27, that's all forgotten at this point? That's in the past?
I think yes. I think yes, because that fact that they had 2 telephone calls during the last weekend, and President Trump invited President Zelenskyy in a very short term, and this meeting will happen, means that now we have a, I would say, stable, friendly relations between 2 presidents.
Information, truth is freedom, is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.